A blessed day to you all my sports to the bone people. Welcome back to the channel. Thank you all for checking this video out. So, my regular viewers and subscribers, they would know that when it comes on to West Indies cricket on this channel, we're always looking for ways to improve. We're always looking for how we can return to the top of world cricket. Now, watching the CPL, there are a couple of things that I have identified. A couple of things that I know I think CWI, they need to address. Now, let me just remind you, CPL, it's a franchise-based system. It's not CWI owned, right? CWI, they are partnering with the franchise people. So I just want to clear that up. I see a lot of people talking about, senior players holding down the youngsters and not wanting them to shine to come and get their spot in West Indies cricket. We don't need to stop the foolishness. This is franchise cricket, and the owners, they entrust the coaches and the captains to select teams that they think will go on to win them the title, not necessarily develop West Indies cricket, right? I mean, they have youngsters in there that they have to play a certain amount of games and all. But that leads me into the first point that I want to make. We need that second T20 league that CWI, that they have been talking about, right? We definitely need that league. We get a chance to see a glimpse of youngsters coming through. We get a chance to see a couple of them, right? We see people like Kadeem Alain, see people like Joel Andrew, and even Ashmead Ned. We see a couple of these guys coming through, and Akeem O'Gees, quite a few of them. We see them getting a couple of games, but when I put them in a system like this, in a franchise like this, they won't get a lot of back-to-back games, which is what they need to develop, which is what they need to you understand, to gain certain amount of confidence to start playing the shots that they think they can. Now, I understand that as long-time West Indies supporters, red ball cricket is what we love, and red ball cricket is what we want to see get back to the top. But this is we're talking about the white ball cricket right now. We're talking about white ball cricket. CPL is on, and we have we have a couple of we have some ODIs and some T20s coming up against England later down in this year. So I am just thinking that this second this T20 league that they are talking about, to unearth talents, we need it, because CWI, they are fixed on competing in this form of the game. Apparently they think this is what will get them back to the top of world cricket. They think this is what will get them recognized and bring in sponsors and all. So I am just saying that there are certain things that we definitely need to fix if we are going to get to that level. Because when we're playing franchise cricket, we need to understand that the players that we bring in players from overseas to win these leagues. You understand? And winning these leagues, it don't necessarily mean that we are developing players in that particular country. So if Barbados win, if Jamaica win, if Trinidad win, you understand, if St. Lucia win, Antigua Falcons, if these teams win, it doesn't mean that individual players from these islands, they are being developed to go into the West Indies team, right? So the regional T20 league, as much as how we know that it's going to once again probably pull talented players from red ball cricket, if this is the way OCWI thinking in terms of catching up back with the world, and wanting to dominate T20 cricket, they definitely need to get that going. So the fact that they mentioned that, we don't want it to go past next year, and they said that they're looking into getting it done, right? Pollard and a couple other senior players spoke about this a couple of years ago, that we definitely need to get that going. So that's the first thing that I want to point out. The second thing, I spoke about this the T20 and the ODI series that we have against England later this year. The second thing, we might still struggle, you understand, to select a couple of positions when we are going going into those series against England. Darren Sammy, we have heard him before. He believes in selecting players based on roles. You understand? And one spot that we're still worried about is the opening slot. I was having not even a long conversation. I was just having an exchange with a subscriber. I think it was yesterday. You know, he was asking about Kyle Mears and whether or not Kyle Mears will be a part of the the England series based on what he has done so far. And my reply was, you know, he might find himself being a part of it, you know. You understand? And my reason for saying this, he hasn't the other openers, they haven't really gone out there and set themselves apart and say, well, we're really and truly miles and shoulders above some of these other players. We haven't seen any openers who have done that. You understand? Kyle Mears is not like he has really set the place alight, but he has a couple of scores. Plus, we see him doing himself. You know, we see him doing his usual thing with the ball. You know, if we're picking an opener, then we're picking an opener. We shouldn't be worried about the bowling. But you know, I was looking into it, my people. Brandon King, Ravman Powell said that boy right now, when he gets back fit, he slots back in, but he hasn't really set the place alight, you know, fitness and all. Shea Hope, he has been up and down the order for Guyana Amazon Warriors, you know. Andre Fletcher, Johnson Charles, you know, we have seen a couple of innings from them, but we were not too sure how much further CW are looking in terms of age and all. You understand? So those two, we have them there. You know, Ali Carthan is, you know, he has been up and down in terms of batting position. So, you know, we might find that. So, you know, I just wanted to point that out, that when it comes on to rules, you understand, we might still have an issue. You see, like we can see Hetmeyer clearly getting himself back into that number 6 spot. You understand? I mean, Rutherford left the CPL for personal reason. Not sure what's going on. You understand? But, you know, we can see Hetmeyer clearly putting himself there for that role. You know, that's the same thing I'm thinking about going in. You know, we might need to really look at that. You understand? You know, we don't really see anybody putting their hands up just like that. So that's the number 2 thing. The number 3 thing that I have here, you know, there needs to be a contract for youngsters to sign. I spoke about the T20 League earlier. So I'm going to tie in this with the new T20 League. There needs to be a contract for youngsters to sign. Whoever these youngsters are that we think we're going to unearth, that we think we're going to find and say yes. Not all of them, you know, but there needs to be a couple of them that you're going to put them under contract. You understand? And this is where the people who are identifying the talent needs to earn their money. Because whoever you're going to put under contract, you want to make sure that they're actually, you know, it worth it. It worth you putting them under contract. And when I say put them under contract, I'm talking about, you know, we know CWI needs to be the winning party if there's a clash between wanting to select these players for a tour and them going and playing franchise cricket. You understand? If we identify certain players coming through, whether they are 18, 19, 20, 21, whatever it is, if we identify them after the T20 League and we say, yes, these are guys that we want to take time and build them and put them into that feeder system to get into the first team. You know, there needs to be a contract, probably 3 years. This is just me thinking of something on the spot. I am obviously not a lawyer, so this would be something that would have to be well thought of. You understand? So players would know that, you know, if they get selected by CW and say, well, you look good, you looked good going through this T20 League, we want to offer you a 2-3 year development contract. It's not strictly tying you to us. If there is opportunity out there, you can go. But if there is a clash, if we want to send you to play a development, a West Indies A tour against such and such a team, and there is a overseas team that want to get you, we should be the winning party. You understand? It's easier to get these players under contract than to get the already established players. You understand? And you don't want to make the contracts in a way where it turn the players off. You understand? You want to make sure that they understand that it's a developmental contract, you know, where you would be tied to us, but you are allowed to go and play franchise cricket, you know. Because obviously you're still going to want them play red ball cricket, you know, but obviously you would have identified them from a T20 system. You understand? So they are probably going to be interested in going overseas and playing. But you want to let them know that, listen, you can go and play, but if there is a clash, if I want to take you and send you to Ireland, want to take you and send you to Pakistan to play a A series or play this or that, we should be the winning party if there's a clash against whatever, or else, you understand, whatever will happen, because it's there legally. They're legally bound. Once again, I am not a lawyer, but, you know, so these are things that CWI people would have to look at and say, you know, this is how it would work or whatever. So that's just me thinking out loud. Just before we finish, my people, one youngster that started, not even a youngster anymore, but Shamar Springer, he started out the CPL really well, and you know, he has been holding it steady. You know, his team, they haven't performed well, so his performance will probably float underneath the radar. Similarly to how Joel Andrew started out well, and then, you know, they started to rotate him and stuff like that. So some performance might fly under the radar, but Shamar Springer is actually up there in terms of wickets. You understand? Right now we have Noor Ahmed with 13 wickets in 8 innings, average of 13.23, economy of 5.37. Second, we have Shamar Springer, 12 wickets, innings 8, average of 18. You understand? Economy rate of what's that? 9.39. Third, we have the speedster Anrit Nakia, 12 wickets, innings 10, average of 27.88, economy rate of 8.90. So that is good, my people, for Shamar Springer going up against this other seaman Nakia, who is an established player. Nakia takes it at an average of 27.83, and you know, we have Springer at 18, so that is pretty good, very, very good. So, you know, I just wanted to identify that, because, you know, he's probably somebody that we will look at going into that England series. So I just wanted to put this video out there. I'll be in the comment section to see what you all have to say. Big up.